Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Cal.
And we are going to be doing our Season 2 Wishlist for the Overwatch League. And this is the first part. We went through a lot of stuff and we talk a lot, so we're going to do a couple of parts on this and probably 2-3 parts maybe. So we're going to start off in just a second. You know, if you're new here, thanks a lot for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the bell for alerts. And we do a lot of Overwatch League coverage. And we'll be doing a lot of stuff over the off season. If you're returning, thanks a lot for joining us again. And let's dive into it. So the wish list. This is what, some of you guys have been on Reddit and things like that, with the MMO kind of thing, where you say, all right, in 2.0, I want, better armor, better gear, a bigger inventory. This is that kind of thing that we're doing right here. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start it off.
One of the biggest things is I want the all access pass to be more all access. If I'm paying that money, like with my Twitch stream and all of that, I should be able to access the camera of whoever I want. Like if in a chosen game, like say we're watching like the Philly New York game, I would have been watching Prophet the whole time.
Yeah.
Or switching back to Bedosin, like, and being able to switch back and forth at will, that kind of thing. I mean, maybe not to that extent. I mean, that's the dream, but something along those lines, I think would be really nice. Or if it's just like, here's like these set camera angles, I can choose whichever I want. Like, basically, you can be the producer. You can be your own producer for it. Switch around, yeah.
One of the things, I was thinking, because I got the all access pass. I like it. There's a lot of extra stuff that's on there. They have kill feeds and they show the faces of the players and all that kind of stuff. And then you have the post-match interviews, which is kind of nice. You get the skins and all that, but whatever. I'm not going to get into that whole fucking fiasco with people and their stupid fucking titled videos on that. What I think they could do is, with that, sub-channels to the stream. So each channel is streaming, like you're streaming Jonak, you're streaming Arc, you're streaming Sabiobi, on different, with the audio, of the announcers, and if you want to watch those guys, you can. Or have the one where it's just the overhead. Right. That third person kind of overhead thing. That would be what I would like to see.
Yeah, some things like that I think would be really awesome.
And a little more conventional, like statty kind of things on the screen, like even just like a separate side thing, like on the sidebar. If you don't want like the fucking
like if I
chat, like you can have the stat line, and stuff like that.
Yeah, like just like on the page, like if I go to the site on Twitch, I can look. Like I can have it streaming. I can look at the live stats as it's updating. Like as they're playing, I can go back and forth between the teams, the players, see what stats they're doing and all of that. Like as it's happening, something like that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that's something else that we wanted to talk about too, is stats in general.
Oh yeah. Stats. God. We need stats. And it's not just because we do what we do here and doing like the overviews and, talking about the league and trying to get involved. I like the stats because I want to see.
Yes.
I want to see, if my eyes are deceiving me. If I'm watching a match and I'm going, wow, it looks like New York is killing them. And,
and then you can see like, oh, New York is up like
10 kills.
20 kills to 5 or whatever. Like,
or it seems like they're winning, but they're not winning the right fights.
Right.
You're saying, well, they got 10,000 damage, but the fights are going to Philadelphia.
Right.
Stuff like that. I want to see who's hot. I want to see, the on fire.
Yes.
Stuff too. Like the kind of stuff that you see when you're playing. I want to look at that top bar and I want to see, you can see it most of the time, but I want to see, like, even if it's just like currently on fire, Sabiobi. I'm using New York a lot, but it's just in general. So don't get on me for that. All right.
But I'm with you, and like some of these things could be things that would come with the all access pass that kind of tie into each other. But at the same point, it's just like in general, like
in
during the
stats.
match, like we just want more stats, more availability of stats. I don't want to have to wait 2 days for Winston's lab to update when like the other team is that same team that we want the stats from when they're playing that next game. We have they're playing today, but we don't even have the stats from the game that they played 2 days ago yet.
Yeah, and it's nothing against that site either.
No,
that site is so awesome.
Yeah,
it's not. They're not the $1 billion company that is providing us with the game.
Exactly.
And they don't, and they have a fucking bar on the Overwatch League that says stats that was fucking dead. It was a dead link button for 3.5 stages.
It was basically dead the entire season.
Yeah.
Because any stats that they did finally put up were so worthless.
It was like shit you knew.
Right. It's just like, oh, hey, they're like this and this, and then like you didn't even get like map percentages, any of that stuff. Like, we just want the access to that stuff.
I like it when your announcers tell you, like, hey, well, like, the London's 36% on Oasis. That's great. I want to see it myself before I go into a match and say, like we got the stuff because there was enough time in between from Winston's lab when we were doing our predictions for the playoffs.
Right.
We got all the map percentages because there was plenty of time.
But once we start adding in more teams and all these other things, it's going to be a lot harder to do that kind of stuff. And then
on all
just
levels,
in general,
except for the big boys. The big boys just need to work it right.
Just being a fan, because even during that's the thing is watching other sports, watching football, they'll pull up these stats and you're just like, oh man, how would I didn't know that. But it's just like you had availability of that stat, but they just pulled it up because it was something that they knew was going to be relevant to that point at that time. And it's like, that's awesome. So they can do that kind of stuff still, but then we can still have the access to those stats. That's basically all we're asking is just, especially with the partnership with ESPN and ABC and all that, this should be something that does get addressed. And I really do think it will be.
And I think they're going to work on something like that too.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to do this on ESPN and ABC outside of your esports kind of community or building an esports community on cable television or whatever you want to do, if you're trying to draw other people in, they need the stat line like they get in football, basketball, hockey, soccer.
Yeah.
They want all of that, time of possession stuff.
Yes.
They want all that kind of
team fights that you've won. You got there's a lot of very relevant stats that you want to know. You don't necessarily need them as you're watching the game that need to be displayed on the screen at that time, but it's just I want to be able to have access to it where if I'm watching, I can pull this up on my phone or I can pull it up in a separate window, however you do it. But just to have the access to that stuff would be huge.
And pre and post game during the week. I mean, baseball plays 162 games out of the year. They have 9 billion stats.
Yeah. Blizzard
can do that with this league, but with playing...
Right, they don't even need stat keepers because all of this stuff is logged in the game. It's a freaking game.
I mean, you could go on, you play a match, guys, and you go onto your fucking account, you look at your stats on your fucking profile.
Yeah, we know all the stats are getting logged because we see it for ourselves, so we know that these things are available, and it's not like they have to put in extra systems to get these stats and log these different things.
It generates
it's just
stats
there. It just generates it itself.
Yeah, and if you look at other esports too, I mean, even if you just take Heroes of the Storm, every one of your matches gets recorded.
Yeah,
on your account.
Mm-hmm.
So, and some of them you post them. You post the video up onto the website, and you get all of your stats instantly. Mm-hmm. These guys can do that with their stuff too. I mean, maybe they're obviously working on some stuff behind the scenes that we don't know about, but. That's one of our main things.
Then on top of that, kind of going with the whole ABC and all that thing, one thing that, they kind of already have done it, but I want them to keep doing it, and that is keeping the broadcast the same no matter what platform you're watching it on. We want the same guy, pretty much all the guys that are there right now, we want all of them coming back. Obviously the team's probably going to have to be bigger. They're going to have to get more
casters
because there's going to be so many more games. The desk is probably fine, especially with the additional people that they brought in stage 2.
Except for that one girl that disappeared.
Zoe?
No,
or the other girl. Oh man, yeah.
What the hell was her name, guys?
Yeah.
The hell one.
Yeah.
Bring back the other girl.
Yeah.
She was on other. I've seen her on other things, but Anyway, she just like disappeared.
Yeah,
she was
she
like
really did. That was weird.
And it was like, I think it was, I think they might have had her in there to give Zoe a break, and I think Malik might have been doing some of the other stuff that he does.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like the addition to him.
Yeah, Malik,
I think that was
Golden
great.
Boy.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys were awesome. Just like, I want to keep that the same, whether I'm watching on Twitch, Disney XD, ABC, ESPN 8, The Ocho, like whatever. I don't give a fuck. I want the same. I want that same thing, no matter where I'm watching it. Just to keep that consistent and cool. Like, and I mean, like maybe down the line they can kind of have where like
you get regional.
You get like the regional things, or like you get. Well, I think they already kind of have that. Like Korea, they obviously have their own casters. Like all the European languages, they all have their own people. So that's definitely a different challenge that they have with this. But I think it's going to be a lot easier for them to just keep it all consistent. You're not going to get where it's like the NBA, where it's like, okay, well, this one is on ESPN, so these are going to be these guys.
I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to listen to...
Yeah. And I'm going to listen to the home radio.
Yeah. Because I can't take Joe Buck.
Or I can't take freaking, what's his name? Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson. Just make me want to blow my brains out anytime I hear those guys.
Think Nick and Pacer fans could deal with that.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, like
Mark Jackson's
just some stuff like that.
Terrible.
I think is definitely gonna help things out. And then the other thing, real quick, is just like at the end of the games, we want to see the play of the game.
Yeah,
just curious. Like we just want to see because just getting some replays in that, and then just in general, more replays of big action, especially from other angles.
Yeah,
from other players, because we kind of saw that during the game in the finals. When you had Prophet go off on his 5 kill, we didn't even see it. We were just seeing it on the kill feed initially, and then later we got Prophet's POV of it. But it's just like, if they could have pulled that up right after it happened, that would have been huge.
It would have. And, the thing with the play of the game thing is fun.
Because we know that would have been play of the game.
Oh,
I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. That would have been play of the game.
Plus, every time they cut at the end of a map, you see it on the screen.
Yes. I want to see that.
I want to see that.
Give us that. Maybe the the final stats of the match as soon as it's done. It's
the
just
medals.
Like,
I want to see medals.
Yeah, like who's getting medals, who's doing this amount of damage. I mean, some of that stuff is there.
The cards,
the cards when they're in the breaks and stuff. Like, you'll get some of that. But like, I want to see it like from top to bottom. Like, here's what these guys did from this team and this team. Like, I want more of that. Yeah, that and the play of the game stuff. There's a lot they can do with the broadcast, and I know they're going to work on it. Yeah.
Because honestly, from a broadcast standpoint, everything's been like the talent is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think they went out of their way to get a great. It blew my mind. I was like, it's going to be like some second-rate Twitch stream.
Right.
I mean, I watched some of it and it was good. I was like, but is it going to be good every week? Like when they were doing contenders and things like that. And I was like, oh no, this is good.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, this is not ragging on what they've done so far. Like they've done a phenomenal job.
It's just stuff we want to see.
Yeah, that is something you can't just keep doing the same.
Yeah,
over and over. You gotta get better at every single time, and like they even did that throughout the season. So these are just things that we think that would make it a better experience. Yeah. Now, one last thing that we want to touch on in this episode is a slightly new format for the stage finals, and then just like the playoff formatting in general, and how the final standings are going to be affected. You had a really, really awesome idea of kind of doing it similar to hockey with points. Yeah,
I came up with a kind of a thing, because in hockey, if you guys don't follow the NHL, or even minor league hockey for that matter, you get points for wins. I think it's 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, and you get nothing for a loss, obviously. So what I was thinking is in the stages, because the stage championship and playoffs don't mean anything except for money.
Yeah.
I think they need to mean something to give people incentive in the back half of the year.
Yes.
Because stage 3 and stage 4, the playoffs they literally meant less than shit at that point.
Yeah.
And it was just like a garbage thing. Now, what I'm thinking is you get 2 points for a win. You're not going to get a tie, obviously, so there's no need for a 1. So if you qualify for the stage playoffs, you get 5 points.
Well, I think something they could do is you get points per map, possibly. And then, like, you get an extra bonus point for winning.
Yeah, or count the map.
Or something like that.
Count, like, the map differential, like your plus.
Yeah.
Goes into your point total.
Maybe, yeah, something along those lines.
You know, and if you're minus, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it will subtract from your point total.
Even if you have more wins, but your map differential is under, that should affect you.
Yeah, and then if you win the stage, you get 10 points. So there's incentives to get into the playoffs to win the match, other than the money. I mean, when the money's great, I'm sure nobody has a problem with that. But when you're adding
just that extra little bit of incentive, and then to really try,
you're adding like a whole. Basically, what I'm thinking is you're adding a whole stage worth of points for wins.
Yeah.
And plus,
to win the whole thing.
To win the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you could, be like Boston, and they swept the season or the stage. They got their 8 points at that, and then you get, your 10 for winning.
Yeah. Something along those lines. I think that would be a really awesome idea.
I didn't mean,
and like, it's not even gonna be. Yeah.
It's
like,
just a thing.
Just something along those lines. I think
something
would be
that
really
makes
cool.
something that makes the stage. Because they haven't separated in stages right now, it just doesn't really mean anything.
Right.
I mean, honestly, it's just a money thing at the end, which makes it kind of cool. If you're not going to do anything where it counts towards the end, just take the week off in between.
Right.
And just run them in segments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like running bye weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like
If
that.
you're going to do that. I mean, I just want to...
Maybe not even the bye, but yeah, just like in general, just having more incentive for the stage playoffs and having that point system, I think would be a really cool addition, and it would just add like another little layer of intrigue. Yes, exactly.
Competition. When you make everything meaningful, and not like what baseball did with the All-Star game, that was dumb.
Yeah, no. But you want to make your regular season games you want them to mean something.
Yeah, and you want these stage playoffs to mean something other than the money factor. Because think about how much more tension and stuff on those especially the first two. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would have been killer. I mean, like that first one with New York and London, and even the one with Philly in New York.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of shit on the line there. Money, points for the season. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for part 1 of the wish list. If you guys are new, thanks a lot for joining us on this one. If you guys have been around for a bit, thanks a lot for coming back in. And for all you guys, please comment down below. It's great. We like to keep the conversation going. Thanks a lot for all of your support over the season and through the off season. We're going to be continually doing some content for you. We might stray off a little bit into some other games, maybe some different leagues. Obviously, Contenders, World Cup, we're going to hit that stuff for sure. We'll hit whatever maps and heroes and all that kind of stuff come up. And then, by that time, it's going to be BlizzCon. Then right after BlizzCon, we have the preseason.
Yeah.
So it's going to go by faster than you think. We will see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.
Later, guys. Catch you on the next one.